All right, welcome back. My name is Mike, and we're here to talk about interviewing as a SOC analyst. Yeah, so another topic that I am super familiar with. I have been on both sides of the table here, rather. So today we're going to talk about the things that will help you stand out in an interview and hopefully help you land that job. All right, let's dive in. I would say one of the most important things I like to see in an interview and things I try to do is to flex my knowledge. And what I mean by that is show your breadth of knowledge with the answers you're giving in the interview. This may sound obvious, but I see a lot of people fail here. They will stay way too high level when they're in a technical interview, and that's not good because if you can't dive into the details, I don't really know that you understand the topic. So if you need to show off, this is the time to do it. So for instance, one of the questions that we would commonly give people are incident response questions. How would you react to a malware event in the environment? And a lot of times people would say, I'd let AB do it, or I'd turn in the laptop for someone to reimage. Those are very basic things and are not great technical details. You should instead be like, hey, I would take these steps, but also I would look to try to identify where it came from. How did it get in? How was it able to execute and not be prevented if it did execute? But dive in and talk through the process to show that you actually understand what a real analyst would be doing in the real world. This is what they want to see. And the reason is they want to see that when they're comparing you to another analyst, they're going to spend less time training you than this other person. Of course, they would love someone who would be just a perfect fit for the role, no training necessary, but that never happens. So they're looking for someone that they're going to have to spend less time on. By showing your breadth of knowledge, you're showing them just that. Now, with that being said, you don't want to go on these wild answers where you're just bobbing and weaving and just talking about all kind of stuff that doesn't make sense. Part of communicating well is staying on topic and maybe not being insanely brief, but just not talking about stuff that doesn't matter. Keep your answer concise, highly technical, and on topic is your best way to answer stuff. That shows great communication skills. It shows great understanding in the topic where you can answer it succinctly. So this goes back to if you can explain whatever topic to a third grader, then you know the topic really well because you can break it down into its most important components and convey that. So keep it concise. You'll be in a really good spot. Now, the next one kind of goes in line with the way you're responding to questions. And my suggestion is to always respond to questions. That sounds obvious, and it is pretty obvious, but people don't do it. So, for instance, right, if you go into an interview and you don't know the answer, what do? You say, I don't know. And if you leave it there, they'll move on to the next question, and you just lost the shot to answer something. What I propose to do instead is, I don't know, but let me give it my best shot, and then just start logically reasoning through the answer. And what I found is people do really well in the interviews when they can do this. You're setting that expectation. I don't know this. Two, I'm going to give it a shot anyways. I'm not just going to drop it there, right? It shows some persistence, which is always a good trait to show. And then because the expectation is already low, if you answer it wrongly, you're good. Worst thing is you're going to show them that you can logically try to get to an answer, which a lot of people don't do well. But on the other hand, if you get it correct, you just score way more points in their mental calculation because you told them it was going to be wrong, but somehow you worked your way to the right answer, and you told them how you got there. It's really good to just give it a shot. It's a no-lose situation. You're going to be in a better place regardless than if you just say, no, I don't know. Now, these last two are a little bit more difficult to do, I'd say, than the other ones. The first one is show passion. I will tell you, I would hire someone that shows passion with a little bit less knowledge than someone with more knowledge and less passion. And the reason why is it just makes you a much better culture fit. Now, I'm not saying go in there and fake passion. Hopefully, you actually enjoy what you do, but don't let the nerves get to you where you're hiding all that. Just get excited. Let them lift that veil, let them see that you actually enjoy this. You've been digging into stuff, talk about what you do outside of work, talk about the areas that you actually enjoy diving into. Just show passion, show it. And it will help you score mega points when they're talking about you in the interview. Hey, so and so, they were just really enthusiastic. I like the way they do stuff on their own. You could just see they would enjoy coming into work every day. These are great, great points that'll help you. If you're like neck and neck with someone, this is going to set you apart and help you beat them out. And the last one's really tough because it's tough. So what I suggest is asking good questions. Now, good questions is a very vague term. Let me give you some examples. Some things that I've seen, people ask really surface level questions during the interview process. And what that means is that you haven't really thought about yourself in that role. And what that shows is a little bit of disinterest in the role. And I understand that it's tough interviewing. You may have got, this is your third one this week. You're kind of tired of it. You've been looking for a job for 6 months to a year. Try to keep that excitement going. Think about good questions to ask, like asking about like the day-to-day life is a really common question, or, hey, how do analysts share if they find something cool? Do they do blogs? Just talk about things that I would say are interesting to you. So for me, when I do remote work, I ask how as a company they keep that community feeling with remote employees. It shows that I care about having a good working relationship for my people. And it's something I've actually thought about. It could be anything. It could be training. It could be what type of tools they'll use. And the one area I would caution with this question is don't get too in the weeds in terms of things actually in their SOC. So like they're probably not going to tell you all the different tools that they use for security reasons. I'd caution for those. Those kind of perk people's ears up and might leave a slight bad taste in their mouth. Just ask good things that you care about, and that shows genuine interest. Ask good questions, help you stand out. These are my top tips from my years of experience on both sides of the interview table. Hope it helps you out. If you have any other tips or anything you can think of, definitely post them in the comments, and we'll look for you in the next video. See ya.